It's lovely to be in the PhD offices with Anne-Marie Schaffer. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah. Had a little bit of a trouble getting here from the rain, of course, but was wonderful getting in from Los Angeles.
So San Francisco then, what do you think makes it stand out from older media hubs like New York and London?
I think the technology that is going on here, just the development of technology in general and the application to just the world at large is having a huge impact on the type of thinking that agencies have to have out here. It really is the center of technology, and with it being the center of technology, it causes for agencies to really have to understand how to flex and pivot and work nimbly, and the old traditional ways of working really have to be thrown out a lot of ways with working with companies. Many of these are venture capitalist backed. They don't have standard processes. Many of them have never even worked with agencies before, whether that be from a media perspective or other advertising agencies.
Can you give an example of how that would affect an agency working with these tech companies?
Oh, absolutely. Just understanding the timelines that it takes to bring activities to market. Media is, as you know, it's not as nimble as we'd love it to be. It's very easy to drop a newspaper insertion sometime this week, but to develop really outstanding, innovative ideas takes time. And to bring them to market sometimes can take weeks, if not months. So it requires some advanced thinking and strategic development in order to bring certain ideas to life. And unfortunately, the challenge is sometimes many companies are working in a very, very fast-paced environment where their business, quite frankly, is moving at a faster pace than they're actually able to move. So it causes all of us to really think much more nimbly. We have to be much more creative. We have to figure out how to cut corners. So it really does throw process, what is known as traditional process, out of the way. Where you used to have like 4 to 6 weeks to be able to develop a media plan, that's just unrealistic, working with a lot of these companies. So it requires us to be super nimble, super quick, super smart, and to be able to bring ideas to market within just a couple of days.
Talking about the tech aspect of the local landscape, do you think it still is as much of a techie area as it was, the Silicon Valley name is giving it?
I do. I think it's continues to expand. I absolutely think it is a significantly large technology hub, but it's expanding into Southern California as well. We're starting to see what they're calling Silicon Beach down in an area called Playa Vista, which is right where our office is located down in Los Angeles. Right. So they're actually having an extension and branching out into other marketplaces as well. But it absolutely still is a significant part of the marketplace here in San Francisco.
So the West Coast is kind of set aside from the East in that respect, would you say?
Absolutely. But, New York is the center of the universe in a lot of ways as well. And there's a big connection between the New York marketplace and the Silicon Valley and Silicon Beach out here. We're actually really, really well connected, I would say.
Talk about the agency scene around here. How's it different from older media hubs?
Even the old are new again. So I don't want to, traditionalize too many things here. But, out on the West Coast, again, the agencies, there are a lot of independent agencies that have come up, but then there's a lot of agencies like PhD and the Omnicom world here where, we've been in business around, for 21 years, and in a lot of ways you'd call us an old agency, but we are constantly reinventing who we are, and we stay true to the values of what the DNA of PhD is all about, but how we operate and the type of people that we hire constantly have to evolve as the marketplace is changing. So when you compare what you call like maybe the old versus the new, I really think it's about attitude, and the agencies out here on the West Coast having an attitude of a sense of urgency, having people that are fearless collaborators, people who are just tenacious and want to get work done on behalf of the clients and come up with really great solutions on their behalf. Digital has been infused in so much of the traditional media, and a lot of agencies have been migrating more and more of their activities to things like digital activities in terms of social and mobile and all of that. I know for many, many years we heard it's the year of mobile, and 5 years later we're well past that. I mean, mobile is part of everything we do.
But still, some people are finding it hard to incorporate mobile.
I would say so. I think social is probably one of the bigger areas that we're really seeing trends evolving. many of the platforms are moving to self-service models where agencies are really having to dig in and understand how different social strategies can be employed across different clients. So, retail clients may use Pinterest as a more inspirational, aspirational type of platform, whereas something like a Facebook or a Twitter may be more of a transactional type of platform for us to use. But it's really requiring agencies to understand how their clients would work within those particular platforms and understand what would work best on their behalf. But I would say social is a pretty significant trend right now that we're seeing, as well as thinking about utilizing some new technologies that may not have even been brought to market just yet.
Any examples of those? Are we thinking virtual reality kind of?
I think we're starting to see the beginnings of virtual reality. We have yet to employ it with any of our clients out here on the West Coast, but we are trying to figure out how to embrace it and what does that mean. It's an area, for example, we have a healthcare client who is thinking about how to use virtual reality as part of their just transactional offering, where a physician may have some type of virtual reality headset or glasses that they're using to get information on their patients. So as those types of things are evolving, we're trying to figure out how do we support that from a marketing perspective, but we don't quite have all the answers figured out just yet.
Are there any up-and-coming companies, people to watch around the San Francisco area?
That's a good question to ask. PhD. But I think as it relates to one of our clients, I would say, is a big up-and-coming company to think about. Nest, which was purchased by Google about 2 years ago, they have been expanding into the Internet of Things. As you can imagine, with technology now infiltrating everything that we're doing in homes. They have smart technologies such as a thermostat and a Nest Cam that allows for you to, speak to your kids or be at work and be able to speak to your dog and watch him on a webcam actually while he's running around the house. So there's some really cool things that they're coming out with, and they've been a really great client to work with and really on the cutting edge of some of those Internet of Things opportunities that are kind of really infiltrating the marketplace right now.
What do you think the global media landscape can learn from San Francisco?
I think having a sense of urgency and really just reinventing what you do every day. I think that's a critical piece of this. Understanding the nimbleness and flexibility. And I think a lot of us do see it and understand it because the marketplace is changing so quickly right now with the way that technology is influencing media across every single media channel. But really understanding that clients don't have all the answers. They're looking at us to have the answers for them, or at least help guide them in a way that we provide some measured ways to work and some strategies that make sense based on how the world is changing right now. So I think having an understanding of being flexible, having a sense of urgency around the things that are taking place, and not being afraid actually to fail. I think it's really important to take risks, but measured risks that make sense, that could quite frankly pay off big time for some of our clients.
And how do you think the future will look for San Francisco? How's it going to stay ahead?
Oh man, I think with the opportunities that we have of a number of different technology companies that are here, giving us the opportunity to see how augmented virtual reality and artificial intelligence is going to influence the way that we think and act and work here. I think we may see, as things like we talked about earlier, how real estate has gotten to be so expensive here in San Francisco. Will the notion of virtually working become much more of a reality in the future? How do teams evolve in a workplace where people may not all be in one hub at one time? So I think we're going to continue to see an evolution of just how people work, how we interface with one another, how we utilize technology to our advantage to be able to stay connected, but still deliver on what we need to deliver on behalf of our clients, but really kind of push the envelope in that area.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for chatting to me.
You're very welcome.